Welcome to another episode of South Pacific Muscle, and today New Zealand's newest IFBB Pro, Dan Foulkes, is joining us. Real pleasure to have you here, man. A real class performance on the weekend on Saturday. So really, really cool, and I really enjoyed your speech. So before we get into things, how about you tell people a bit about yourself? You're a bit of an unknown to a lot of people. Those that know you well, but we want to know more.
Yeah, no, sweet as. So I'm 29 years old, and I'm originally from Wanganui, down in Manawatu. I was born and bred there, and I decided about 2 years ago that I was going to move up to the Waikato because I knew that the fitness industry and the bodybuilding industry was a lot bigger up here, and there's basically nothing going on back home to do with it. So I thought, hey, I'll go chase a dream, which is to be a pro bodybuilder and to eventually make it to the Olympia stage one day. But so a bit of a background on me is I just love training. I just love going to the gym. I've been doing it since I was 19, and started taking it serious when I was about 25. And yeah, I love lifting weights, and I love eating heaps of food. So and I don't want to be overweight. So I train my ass off, and yeah. Nice.
Did you come out of any other sports? You play rugby or football, anything like that when you were a kid?
So I was actually, I was pretty athletic as a child. I used to do a lot of cross country, sprints, stuff like that. I did play rugby for a wee bit, not too much. I never really followed through with the whole rugby thing. I sort of got into a bit of motocross here and there, and I was a bit of a bit. So I used to like doing multiple things, and I could never really stick at the one thing. You know what I mean? I always tended to get quite good at something and almost break through to do really, really well, and then I'd be like, nah, flag this, I'll go and do something else. I don't want to do this anymore, and it wasn't until I did my first bodybuilding comp that I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
When was that? When was your first one?
So that was in 2015 at the Never Manawatu Champs.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Manawatu Wanganui Champs. That was my first show as a novice. Yep, and I learnt a lot. I learnt a lot off that show. I think I stood on stage at about 62 kilo or something. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Hey, look, NutriFit. People want to know about that. Tell us about what you do for a job, what your business is, what's behind the brand.
Yep. So NutriFit is a nutrition and personal training company. We cross-lease a building on Tristram Street in Hamilton with the New Zealand Institute of Health and Fitness. So that's where they teach people how to become personal trainers, and we've got a facility there with weights and just everything, assault bike, battle ropes, kettlebells, everything you can name it. It's pretty much like a functional fitness center. So yeah, we do. I'm a personal trainer, and my partner is also a personal trainer and nutritionist. So yeah, that's what we do together, and we help people, mainly general pop, like with general pop and weight loss and stuff like that, and just trying to teach people, educate them on nutrition, and that you don't have to eat the same thing every single day to get results, and it doesn't have to be boring, and it can be exciting, and and you don't have to create a crappy eating regime. You can. Yeah, we just want to educate people on, how to eat correctly and how to get the results that they want, and teach them how to train proper and hard. Yeah.
Nice. You do any online coaching with clients?
Not so much. It's more face to face. Kind of like it that way. We do have a few online clients. I've got some close mates and stuff that I work with, and just kind of help them out. But it's not a major at the moment. I think it is something that we are going to be looking into down the track. But we're pretty busy with just the personal training in itself, and I know that it'd probably take a lot more effort for us to, jump down that online barrel. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, you used to do a bit of personal training. How your experiences, because I've always been someone that's worked away from the gym, and going to the gym was sort of my time, and I always wondered about how you manage that. So firstly, Mike, how did you find doing the two at once?
I found that putting those hours in at the gym really drains you. People are very draining, and you do need your time away from it. When I was prepping for competitions, and actually when I was serious about my bodybuilding, I trained at another gym than I worked at. I just needed, say, your own space, your own head space to kind of focus on your own training. That was actually going back quite a way. So it was before the days of these things. They're great because it's just when these are on, I'm doing my own thing. When they're off, I'm happy for a chat. So you can sort of separate it out that way. But I just found the same environment that I worked in really tough to train in and flip that mental energy across to really focus on yourself. And not very many hours of contact time can be very draining as a personal trainer. You put in 10 hours in a day, and that's a big day. So being in that environment for any longer than you need to be, and having those people around you kind of giving you a wave and kind of coming over for a chat, it's pretty tough.
How do you deal with it, Dan?
Yeah, I'm very, very lucky that my partner Natalia, she stepped up and she took over a lot of the work through from Waikato's onwards going to international. She took over pretty much all of the work, and I talked to my clients and said, "Hey, look, this is what I'm gunning for. This is what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to need some time away. I hope you understand." And they all did. All of them were amazing, and the messages and just the support from them was great. So I think just letting everybody know like what I was kind of trying to aim for and going through helped. And just like I say, really, really lucky that I've got Natalia there to have my back and yeah. But I'll tell you what, she's gonna be making me bust my balls for the next rest of the year. That's for sure. I can tell you now.
Nice. Hey, big shout out to Natalia and to all Dan's clients and friends that supported him. I know he thanked a lot of people at the show. Incredibly selfish sport, bodybuilding, when you're prepping for a show, but it's a sport you can't do with a big team, without a big team behind you.
Exactly. You've got to, having that support network is crucial. I mean, I think I'm not the only one who would, like, I tend to shut off and shut people out when it gets into those final nitty gritty weeks, because you really do need to channel in and focus on, the end result, which is coming in absolutely peeled and conditioned and still nice and full. So you do isolate yourself definitely a wee bit, but knowing that you've got the right people there, if you have to have a cry or a fallback or a whinge or whatever, knowing that they are there is amazing, so you do have to have it, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to all the supporters around there. There's been a lot of people with energy to pay back after the shows on the weekend, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Hey, tell me, man, because like the two of us really, I guess, would dream about being in your shoes. Ever since I was 12 years old and first got my set of blue 4-kilo weighted dumbbells and started training after seeing, I think it was Red Sonja, or it was a movie with Arnold, wasn't it? It's actually his calves. I don't know why. I said, I want calves like that. I've got to look like that. But, ever since I started following bodybuilding at a very young age, the dream was always, pro bodybuilders are held in a special kind of light, and tell us what that meant to you to finally achieve that goal.
Oh, honestly, it's so overwhelming. So I just overwhelmed with joy. It's something that I've been visualizing for a long time, and been really, really relentless towards over the years. And it felt like I'd finally that is what I wanted to succeed. Like, I wanted to get that pro card, I wanted to turn pro and become a pro athlete. And so to get it is just, it's super, super overwhelming. Still buzzing out. I haven't slept. Like, I literally haven't slept. It's just been, a dream come true. And now that I can see past it, you know what I mean? I can say, right, I got the pro card and I can see past that. And now I'm trying to visualize, what's the next 5-10 years going to look like, and where are we heading, kind of thing. But very, very surreal feeling. And I feel very, very privileged and lucky to be given the opportunity, and I'm happy to, represent New Zealand for sure.
Yeah, man.
Take the next step on the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought about that. I thought, look, you know, you strive for so long to be the best, you know, to have a Mr. New Zealand title, phenomenal title to have. To, you know, doesn't matter what happens, you'll always be Mr. New Zealand. And you get that pro card, and it seems like such a big journey. But then you're back at the start, and you're into another journey, and suddenly, yeah, you know, you really. I think Mike Kingsnorth summed it up really well. He said to me, you know, once I was competing at that level and knew I was doing well, I didn't want to be the fastest guy on the go-kart track. I wanted to get to Bathurst. So, you know,
Exactly.
it's a huge step. And man, look, I'm for one am very, very excited to follow your progress. Look, you know, I think you did an outstanding job at the Nationals. We talked about it previously, and I'd only seen photos. And to be fair, I had said this is going to come down to Paris and Ants. And then when you walked out on stage, I got a text from Mike Kingsnorth saying, Dan just won Mr. New Zealand. And I went, I was just thinking the same thing. And the other thing that we both said, and it was really uncanny, I said, doesn't he remind you of Aaron over in Aussie? Aaron Poloites. Oh, sorry, I can't say his name properly. But and he had said the same thing. You know, like you came out and you just, you know, you had a real presence on stage, and when you were in the lineups, my eyes were just drawn to you. You know, you came in looking so crisp, and I thought, I didn't see that coming, and it was a really nice surprise. So what I've done is I've put a couple of photos together from your previous show and put them alongside your Nationals photos, and I just want to kind of get you to talk through, you know, how you know, where you're at when you were at the Waikatos, and what you had to do to get to that point that you were at the Nationals. So I'll bring that up now.
Yeah, cool.
Right, here we go. Yeah, overall, Mr. New Zealand. What a proud moment.
Yeah, very proud.
Yeah, man.
Very proud. Yeah, so in terms of like Paris and Anthony, those boys, honestly, I thought Paris was gonna going into the show. I thought I just wanted to go and win my class. Like the dream of the pro card was there for sure. Don't get me wrong, but I just wanted to win the 80 to 90 kilo division because I'd stepped up a weight division from last year, and so I thought Paris or Anthony were definitely going to be the ones to do it. And I guess I saw myself as the underdog. So going from Waikato's into Nationals gave me talking to Matoi and Kenny O'Malley and you know Mo in there, and they said, look, you got to pull it in tighter. You know, you got some fat to lose, and you got to pull it in tighter, and you need to bring it for Nationals. You know, because you've got a good shot if you bring it in. So and Kurt, my coach Kurt, you know, I couldn't do this without him. He's the man and a top notch bloke, and he's always there for me whenever I need him. But you know, me and him, we come up with a game plan and of how we were going to execute it, and that was basically. We kept calories pretty much the same. We just changed. We went from chicken to fish, and so it was just a leaner protein source, obviously less fat. And we stepped up the cardio big time. And I just kept. So I was going from doing like 50 minutes of cardio a day, going into Waikato's to 2 hours of cardio a day, hour morning, at night, and in between I'd do my weight training session, and I made sure that I lifted heavy. I kept lifting heavy the whole way through, and I think that really, really helped me hold some density there, some thickness. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's pretty much what we did. I wanted it so bad, and I wanted to come in conditioned. I knew that I was still fluffy at Waikato's, and we didn't want to peak for Waikato's. I knew, I'm really, really hard on myself going into shows, and still looking at that photo where Mo's holding up my hand, I'm like, my legs aren't lean enough. I need to be tighter. My quad sweep could be bigger, you know. And then so that's what we do as bodybuilders,
Absolutely.
You know. We pick it ourselves, and I think that's I wasn't happy with where I was, so I worked so hard until I was happy, which was Nationals, and I was very, very pleased with the package that we bought.
What was your weight at the Waikato's versus your weight at the Nationals?
So registration at Waikato's, I weighed in at 84 kilo on the dot, and then at Nationals, I weighed in at 80.3. So, yeah.
Tell us, how hard was that last 2 weeks mentally, and what were some of the things some of the things that were going through your mind? Because I know you get in some pretty dark places when you're that far down.
Yeah. Mentally, it was better than, say, the 4 weeks going into Waikato's, to be honest, because the motivation was extremely high, and so that the drive towards it was easy, but the actual putting in the work, and like you jump on, I was doing an incline walk, 10% incline, 4.5-5 kilometer speed for an hour, and that first 10 minutes you're just like, this is, I can't get into it, but once the sweat starts flowing and you get some good tunes, or you get a good podcast on, and you just go for it, and you're away. I had a couple of I had once, that when I had to fly to Christchurch and help my partner for her powerlifting comp and her nationals that she had, which she got second place in, which was awesome for her first comp. But I had a bit of an episode where I'd pushed so hard on the spin bike at night that my blood sugar levels had, I was on basically no carbs, and my blood sugar levels had dropped so low that I was actually my central nervous system was so taxed that I was passed out kind of thing, freezing cold, but pissing out with sweat, and it wouldn't stop. And so we got that under control, had a couple of jelly beans and a bit of fruit, and we were good to go. And then I just carried on. I thought, oh, well, if this kills me, then so be it. Let's do this,
Hey, isn't it amazing our sport, we present this package on stage that's, the epitome of physical excellence, I suppose, and yet to get there, like any other athlete peaks and they come in and they're fresh and all the rest of it, we beat ourselves up into the ground, grind ourselves onto the ground, drag ourselves to the gym, and, half asleep between sets, and really, some of those times you're digging deep down in your soul to keep moving, and yet there you are on stage. Look at that.
Yeah, I love hard work. I think I've always sort of made things hard for myself, and it's overcoming those challenges that you get results from. That's what I believe anyway. And bodybuilding's taught me so much, not just in the gym and with my nutrition, but just in life in general, with business, work ethic, all of that. About following through and seeing a job done right. You know what I mean? And that's the satisfaction, you push yourself to the point where you're like, you feel like an alien, you're going so hard, and you sometimes wonder why, but then, you get to the end of it, and you're just like, that was so worth it. It was worth every single bit. And that is why I pushed so hard. It's because of that. I knew that I'd get some result at the end, whether that was a title or just looking insanely diced on stage, or so yeah, it's about the reward.
Hugely intrinsically rewarding. Sorry, Mike.
I've had to describe it to a few people recently, and if you were an athlete or a runner, or you'd go out and you'd train hard, you'd put in an hour and you'd sprint until you threw up, or made yourself like a leg workout, but then you go home and you have some food, and you might have a beer and watch some TV and a good night's sleep. For us, it's like Chinese water torture. It's a little bit, you're just a little bit tired and a little bit of pain, and you keep yourself there and you keep yourself there for day after day after day. And at any given time, you can just go, well, I might have a big feed of carbs and have a sleep in and not do my cardio. But you don't, right? Because that's where you just keep driving and driving, And it's something that most people can't understand unless they've been there, right?
Yeah, you've got to, most people don't understand when you've gone, people go, they struggle with going 2 weeks without a cheat meal. It's like, try 12, let's try 16, try 20. And once you do, I'm not saying I went 20 weeks without a cheat meal, because, hey, I did, Kurt gave me high days, and cheat meals and stuff like that, but they were there for a reason. You know, they were there for a purpose. They weren't there to for me to indulge in or anything like that. They were like, right, okay, let's have extra carbs today so that we can, you know, just pick things up a little bit, you know what I mean? Or just get your energy levels at a better level so that you can hit the ground running the next day, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Real interesting when I talked to you before about, I think I made the comment about, you know, don't go blowing up and losing the chisel jaw. And you said, look, you know, my view is about getting lots of good food that creates an outcome, you know, and that mentality, I think, once you're real serious about the game, you look at food very functionally, and to the point that, you know, when you talk about a cheat meal, the cheat meal is there for a reason. It's not there because you need something nice to eat. You know, it's there to either replenish your glycogen source so you can train harder, you know, or to pick your metabolism up, whatever it might be. You might, you know, start carb cycling, things like that. And it's not about having more carbs because you're feeling bad. It's about making sure that your performance in the gym, which equates to your performance on stage, stays at a maximum level.
Yeah, and that's one thing that is crucial, is making sure that, like, it's bodybuilding, you know, we need to be looking like bodybuilders, you know, so you have to be fueling the body right around the training times, you know, you have to be fueling it before and after. After that, I think that's when you're shredding, you know, like that, you know, that's when the basic, I mean, everything's basic, but that's when it's like the no carbs, no fats, you know, and that's when you're kind of suffering. But around the training times, you want to feel good. You want to go in there and you want to be able to basically, you know, you're not going to be able to do exactly what you're doing off season, but you don't want to be really that far off it. Well, that's my belief, and that's how I feel like I bought the a way better package this year, was just because of the nutrition around my training times, and obviously sticking to the plan and putting in the work. But yeah.
On that note,
So
Kurt Dell, well done, Kurt. Great to see you bringing an athlete in. That's a real feather in your cap, mate. Sorry, Mike.
So it's interesting. You're obviously very knowledgeable in nutrition, and you train other clients and so on. But obviously, you use a coach, and it's probably a good message to a lot of athletes out there that once you get to the point where you are in those dark places and you are tired and you get very indecisive about what you need and what you want, and sometimes that can be to the point where you deprive yourself when you really should be eating more or should be carving up. So I know from my own experience, it's you know, I train other people, but I find it really useful to have someone else to just tell me what to do. You know, like if you wanted me to stay down, I'll stay down. If you want to fill me up. But I can't think about that. I used to describe it to people many years ago, saying that you are so desperate to do anything, leave no stone unturned to get in the best condition you possibly can, that you're very impressionable. And if someone said, hey, look, you know, if you eat some dried up dog shit, you come in looking unreal. You're out there looking for dried up dog shit because, you know, you will leave no stone unturned, right? And when you're in the environment with people who are giving you ideas left, right, and centre, they all just want the best for you. But you know, they're giving you these ideas, and you're just so impressionable that it's really useful to just have a sounding board, someone who's going to tell you what to do.
Yeah, that one person that you can, if there's any young guys starting out there are watching this, listen, what you just said is bang on the money. It's good to have somebody there that you just listen to, and that one person only. Stop changing shit. Stop listening to other people and chopping and changing the plan. Stick to the plan that your coach has set out, or you have set out, and stick to it and see it through. And I can guarantee you, once you get to the end, there will be changes. You know, like, hey, it's literally, you're right. You go into those dark places, and you know, when you go flat and you pull carbs out, you kind of almost look a little bit like you're like fatter, you know, you're like, oh shit, I look a bit fat, so I'll pull more carbs out, but actually you needed the carbs to tighten you up a little bit, you know what I mean? And so that's where having a coach is, it's perfect, and you just become a robot and do the work. You know?
Hey, let's talk about the future. Where do you see, what sort of time frames have you given yourself, or are you going to play that by how you're looking, or you know, have you got something in mind? You got a long-term plan? Where are you at?
Yeah, like obviously, shooting for the stars is how I roll, and if I land somewhere in between, I'll be happy. But I I want to go to the Olympia. Like I want to make it to the Olympia, and I don't just want to go to the Olympia just to be at the Olympia. You know, like if I'm going, I want to be knocking on that top door sort of thing, that top spot. So like me and Kurt had a quick talk on Saturday night. We went out for dinner together, and we had a quick chat, and we talked about doing my pro debut in 2022. And obviously we don't know what show or anything like that or what's going to go on with
212.
I would like to say yes, but I think it's going to take a lot longer than that for me to get to 212.
That's what, 95 kilos, give or take?
Yeah, just under 96, I think. Yeah.
So 15 kilos to go.
Yeah, so that's a lot. I mean, to put on 15 kilo by 2022, that's, I think I'm pushing shit uphill. But to go and compete as a pro, like I don't necessarily want to be straight to 212 to have to compete as a pro. I think that I can do quite well. If I could add like another 5 kilo would be nice, and be sitting like 85 or like low 90s would be, and still with the same conditioning would be nice. But again, we'll just see how the body responds. Like I've got a good idea of what I need to do training wise to put some more thickness on and add some more mass.
With the structure you've got, every kilo you put on will look like 5, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Because I mean, my first nationals, my first IFBB nationals, I was like 70 kilo, and then I jumped on board with Kurt, and I put on the 10 kilo. I was at my next one, I was at 80 as well. So last year I was 80 kilo. You just weighed in, 79.7 or something like that, but yeah, 80 kilo. And then this year, obviously I'm the same, but a lot leaner.
Not the same.
Yeah, like same weight, but a lot leaner, fuller and denser. So we just brought it in a lot drier. So yeah, if I could get to 85, when 85, 90 would be nice. But hey, you know, it's bodybuilding, and you never know what happens. And there's plenty of roads to go down, and plenty of little tricks we can try. And yeah, it's all an experiment, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's really good the way you reflected on it, and you know, because it is a journey, and you know, yes, we've all got endpoints that we want to get to, but actually the journey along the way is pretty freaking cool, man. You know, like you become a very strong character. You have to become, you know, very organized, like your organizational skills, and you make your life very simple so that you can do the things you need to do. We become very time poor, so we work around that. But the discipline that it breeds, and I think that's the thing that we're seeing, is that a lot of our guys that have done very well consistently in bodybuilding are actually doing really well consistently in outside life as well. So I think those skills are highly transferable.
Definitely, yeah, I fully agree with you. They are transferable. You know, I worked for an aluminium company for years, busting my ass for them, and don't get me wrong, I learned a lot from them, but I also learned that you can't, like, bodybuilding taught me that it's not you've got to focus on yourself. You know, you have to focus on what you want to do, and you got to focus on yourself to achieve that, whether it's getting a stronger bench or getting a bigger chest, getting bigger legs, whatever. You have to zone into that and do it for yourself. You know, you can't be doing it because that chick wants you to have big arms, or you know what I mean, like. Yeah,
and it doesn't happen by accident.
Well, that chick's got bigger arms than you.
Yeah,
you're killing me, Mike. Hey, look, guys, we're going to have to wrap it up, but I really want to thank you for coming on. And look, everyone out there that's watching, please get on to Dan's NutriDan on his Instagram. Follow him. It's going to be a great journey. And from us at South Pacific Muscle, we wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Dan. Take care, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.